Welcome to the grand opening of my Dex guide. Now, this is something I've been working on for the last week and a half, 12 hours a day, a pure passion project to you guys. It's a Dex guide website inspired by Trick's website. You will find everything you need to know about my musket builds and bow builds here, and we're also going to be collaborating with other top PvPers. The first of which is Deity Venge's bow build, will be coming on the 13th of January, that's in 2 days. So if you're watching this video past then, the build's probably already up. The way the website works is you choose a main hand, then you choose an offhand, and it will load a build to that website. It's very simple, very structured, and it flows very well. There's a total of 7 builds currently on the website. The builds coming in the next couple weeks are Bow Rapier, Musket IG, Musket Blunderbuss, and Musket Hatchet. Those are the 4 builds you will be seeing in the next 2 weeks. There's currently 15 builds planned, and there's 7 on the site. And all the most popular ones are currently on. So, by selecting Musket, we now choose an offhand. We see the all the different options that are currently available. So these are all the complete builds currently on the website. You've got a Rapier, Void Gauntlet, Firestaff, Spear, and Boltcaster setups. By clicking Firestaff, this is one of my favorites, and I'm going to be returning to shortly on Twitch because it's hella fun, is the Musket Firestaff. This is the build page. It is a wall, and it's a scrolling system, and everything is mobile supported. I want to get that out of the way because it is extremely important that I had this working very well on mobile, because I think that is the most important use for these kinds of websites, is having them on your phone, and I wanted to make sure I nailed that, and I went all out of the mobile perspective of this website. When it comes to the rest of the builds, it shows you a rating. This is my personal rating on the build. It shows you the strength of the build, so this would be compared to just general every build in like New World. I think Musket Firestaff is actually quite up there. It's a very underrated build. It's quite powerful. Obviously, a decent amount of the power of this build is led by the Firestaff. Without talking about the builds too much here, they're in the respective videos on the pages that discuss that. We want to talk about how the website works. So next to that is the purple stars, or the purple rating. This is the skill rating. Lower is easier to pick up, higher is harder to pick up. So what I mean by that is a build like Musket Rapier is not that strong, and it has an extremely high skill ceiling. A bow like Musket Firestaff has an extremely low skill ceiling, but an extremely high power rating. This is fantastic if you sort of know your personal skill, and maybe that helps decide what build you want to progress towards. So maybe if you're just picking up Musket for the first time, Musket Firestaff is a fantastic option to get started with the weapon, and Firestaff, of course. Meanwhile, Musket Rapier is more experienced, and is a weapon you would probably pick up if you have a decent amount of knowledge, or are willing to put a decent amount of time into learning. So without further ado, we'll talk about some of the other features of the page. So below the video panel, you have your crafted armor section. It tells you everything you need to know, and every single perk and item, even image, is linked straight to New World DB. So by clicking on the Timeless Shard pattern, it tells you the weight class of armor you need to craft. We instantly get taken to the Matrix recipe, the 2-perk recipe, to craft that item, so you know exactly what materials you need to buy from the trade post for calculations. To that, just below that, you have all the perks you need, and they are also directly linked. So the Linen Arcane embroidery, your armor perks like Harnessing, Elemental Aversion, and then below that you have your build stats. These are the stats I recommend and have the most success with. Below that you have the trees that I also recommend, the consumables, and then we have a couple panels here about my community. Scrolling back up on the left here, we have crafted weapons, jewelry, and named artifacts and jewelry. So scrolling down, the first thing you see is the musket. There's a fire setup, so you got the fire musket here. Inferno artifacts, and again, all this will change depending on the build page you're on. So scrolling down, tuning the pants, it tells you the exact perks you need to add. And if it's an artifact, it tells you to add it at a gypsum kiln, because some people might be confused about that, especially if they're just returning to the game and they don't know how the new named upgrade system works. I want to make it as seamless and easy as possible. And again, on top of that, if you're still confused, don't be afraid to come to my Discord, ask me a question. I'm more than happy to answer, and so is my community. We have a fantastic community built entirely around musket and range builds. And yeah, so if you want to know something, want to learn something, need help, chuck a message in the Discord, and we will definitely help you. And again, scrolling down, you've got your jewelry, heart rune at the bottom here, and that is everything. There's everything you need for the build in one panel that perfectly works on mobile. Very happy about mobile, by the way. I think it actually looks better than desktop. And you've got custom graphics. I did all my own graphics. I'm a designer. So again, we'll hit the nav icon, which you might miss. It is kind of less intuitive than it should be, but I really want to make my nav icon my logo. I thought it was really cool and very simplistic, and sort of added a stylistic element to the page. Less on the design theory, but that is sort of the look there. So we'll actually quickly go to another build here. We'll go to a bow build, shall we? We'll go to bow void gauntlet. Scrolling down here, it is quite literally exactly the same as the Firestaff build, except all the items have changed. The links have all changed, the text has all changed, and the images have all changed, and the stats, the trees, everything is changed to that build, but is in the same format, so it is very easy to understand. Again, works perfectly in mobile, has your rating at the top here per build, and then next is other pages, which are just less significant, but I thought they were important. A resources page that simply tells you websites I recommend using alongside your New World experience. New World DB, most of you probably know this. It's what I use on this website for links. Fantastic website, everything you need to know, where to get an item or to find an item, look for items, is a fantastic website. Next is New World Buddy. This is a fantastic website for storing custom progression like gear sets, transmog previews, and inventory systems, so you can really get a sort of goals. New World Buddy is fantastic for setting goals and sort of understanding more about certain things. It's very good for stats and related to perks as well. Next is New World Champ. New World Champ is Trick's PvP and PvE build website. His website is fantastic if you're looking for anything that isn't Dex, because again, this is a Dex website. So if you're looking for builds in every aspect of the game, Trick's website, New World Champ, is fantastic for that. Now, heading to the news page is the summary of the most important combat changes related to ranged builds, and this is going to again be updated depending on the latest balance patch. So in the recent patch that was just yesterday, or literally today actually in America, it is just a small PvE damage increase among musket and bow, a hardy and heavy armor change to make it so heavy armor can't double dodge without having to wait a little bit. This doesn't affect our builds, but it affects what we face, so I thought it was important to include that here, and that's same with the Koi's knee guards. The only two important changes that actually do affect us are the musket and bow. Again, I want to also surface that this is a PvP site right now. I, at some point down the line, would like to incorporate PvE builds into the website, because I think that would be fantastic. But until then, this is the website. I hope you like it. I hope you find it useful, and I hope you find it as the new one-stop shop when it comes to musket and bow builds from me. And again, I wouldn't have this website, I wouldn't have made this if it wasn't for you guys. This is a pure passion project. It means a fuck ton to me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.